Hey everybody, welcome to The Raid, the GamerAccess.com's Warcraft podcast. I'm your host, Bronson, a level 85 Protection Warrior. And I'm joined by...
Ethanita, level 85, marksmanship hunter.
Alright, so as we all know, we are recording this 2 days before Pandaria comes out.
In, one day, 3 hours and 15 minutes.
You're on the website, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I just looked at my clock and figured out how much time left in my head. So, yeah.
Well, according to the website, it's 1 day, 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 12 seconds.
Okay, well, that's
we're
good.
recording
That's
this
good.
at 9:43 at night on Sunday. So basically, the book for this expansion has come out. The expansion's coming out tomorrow, and I want to talk about how much advertising this goddamn expansion is.
All right, let me start. Okay, I name a place and then you name a place.
The Escapist,
IGN.
Giant Bomb,
TV.
Facebook.
Xbox Live dashboard.
All right, so that's the first piece of news I want to talk about. So you hit right on it.
You cannot escape that. You cannot escape this.
You can't escape the pandas.
It is everywhere as much as the political ads.
You cannot escape the pandas. Would you say it is Panda-monium?
Oh.
But
okay, sure.
All right, bad puns aside. Yeah, pretty much everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you can go where
For every political ad I found a Mists of Panderia ad. And let's be honest, at least the Mists of Panderia ad aren't telling me that. Wow. Maybe what they should do is, because Mists of Panderia is about warring factions again, Horde versus Alliance, they should just do attack ads like the politics do.
That'd be
Okay?
amazing.
The Horde has undead that used to be your loved ones. Do you want to fight for them? Like, what are the Pandaren thinking every day if this is what's on their TV? If they have TV. Just attack ads to make you sway to one side or the other, because Pandarens can go to either faction now.
Well,
it must be an absolute dilemma.
On Xbox Live, if you watch one of the Pandaren ads, if you click on it and watch it, until October 6th, you will get a free Horde and Alliance t-shirt. You'll have both. So, you Warcraft fans, that have Xboxes, go get it. As for other things that we've seen with the expansion, the new patch is out.
5.0.5, and I know nothing about it.
That's just a bunch of hot fixes, but
okay.
What they have done is they finally did the talent tree thing, and I finally checked it out.
Did we talk about this already?
We did, but I want to go over it a little more. Most specs still play the same. I booted up my Frost Mage, and other than a couple things added to the rotation and a couple mix-ups, it really didn't change that much. My Warrior Tank, same thing.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned this on the Gamecast, but I don't think on the raid. So I plugged into my Warrior, and it's just like, Dragon Roar. And it gives you like two other alternatives. Like, Dragon Roar sounds really appealing, considering it does like 1800 damage plus whatever effect it has. I don't remember, but I just found it pretty funny. That in the whole Skyrim craze, that found its way into Warcraft. Oh.
Yeah. One thing that I would like to say though, that this doesn't have. I would love for someone to make a mod for Warcraft where instead of the dragon roaring, it makes the Randy Savage sound. Oh yeah, like in Skyrim, that mod, because that'd be amazing. That said, The new talent trees look interesting. So I want to start off with what are you excited? Well, let's start off with news. We can get to the Pandaren and stuff a little later. Will you be playing? Oh wait, that's a user question. Sorry, fucking I have multiple links up at once. So they've updated the battle chest. For those of you who don't know what the battle chest is, that's for basically people who are new to World of Warcraft who want to get a full set of stuff to be good to start out with. Well, for those who have yet to go to Northrend, or I'll just read their ad for you, haven't together at last, Battlechest and Wrath of the Lich King, haven't ventured to the frozen reaches of Northrend? Beginning today, September 19th, players are now able to get the original World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King for only $20 as part of the newly upgraded digital battle chest available now on battle.net. In addition, all World of Warcraft subscribers will now automatically have access to all the content and features of both the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, even if they never purchased either expansion at no additional cost. It's time to set sail north, adventurer. The Lich King awaits.
The Lich King's already dead.
Yeah, current
His
timeline.
dead body awaits for you at Ice Crown Citadel, which has been abandoned.
Yep. His empty corpse lies there for you. So that's pretty interesting.
I am still kind of irritated they haven't fixed Outland.
Yeah, well,
It's just it's just like a giant tumor in this brilliance. It just, man, the level 1 to 60 stuff is redone and it looks great. Wow, Wrath of the Lich King is great, and Cataclysm is pretty good too. Oh, Burning Crusade.
well, think of it this way: at least it goes by fast. Um,
Hopefully, I still found it to be incredibly slow considering how long I was out there boring myself to death.
yeah, I'll say this: uh, if you can find someone who is a tank, or you have a tank spec, just dungeon grind through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my dude did. And, like all he ever did was just go through a little bit of Hellfire Peninsula, Dragon Runs, and some Nagran. That's it. And to me, and I don't want to go anywhere else because for me, Hellfire Peninsula is pretty much mandatory, and Nagran is the prettiest place I've seen in all of World of Warcraft. So
So pretty.
yeah, it's very pretty, which help me tolerate the really boring quest chains. Seriously, if they redid that place, it's gonna be like, wow.
My computer is gonna hate it. Um, they've already, I can already tell that not this Warcraft expansion, but the one after it, I'm gonna need a new computer. Or
Already?
well, you gotta understand that'll be 2 years from now, but yes. Because this one, I can run the Pandaria stuff, at 30 frames per second with almost everything set out to max. But I've
We're
noticed.
gonna need a text section. I'm gonna like start up the game right now and read all the little new graphic features that they put into it, of which I don't understand how they work.
Um, but anyway, the next piece of news is Blizzard is going to have a live stream of their special event in Irvine, California. That's where they're located, and at the Irvine Spectrum Center. Join us for the launch festivities hosted in partnership with GameStop. We we have exciting plans in store for you as we count down the final hours to launch. Here's what they plan. Blizzard team members will share their thoughts on this World of Warcraft milestone. Gamer slash actress Felicia Day will make a special guest appearance with an exclusive look at the 6th season of The Guild. And loot. I know, I'm excited for that. And plenty of loot giveaways. We also have a special in-game event planned for bloodthirsty viewers, a challenge mode duel between a team of skilled Blizzard employees and the elite guild Blood Legion. The fastest team wins, and we'll have Blizzard Esports Rob Simpson shoutcasting with World of Warcraft lead encounter designer, providing design commentary. So, what a challenge mode duel is basically two teams are given the same type of gear, and basically whoever finishes the raid or dungeon first wins. More commentary on that. So basically, the Blizzard interviewed them and says, "Thanks for taking the time to chat with me. It's our pleasure. Congratulations to the Mute team." Well, that's mighty kind of you. The community movement and Shakers drive what we do. Appreciate you folks. Now, to get started, why don't you give everyone a brief background on Blood Legion and how the guild started? The guild has been around since the days of Diablo 2 and was carried over to WoW during alpha testing. Initially, we're just a group of players that merely wanted to raid, but as each successive raid came out, a lot of us wanted to become more competitive on the server. We grew from there with a lot of other guilds, dying and cannibalizing them for members with a similar mindset. What guild accomplishment in World of Warcraft are you most proud of? There have been many major milestones for Blood Legion. However, there are three specific achievements that come to mind that some of what the guild has gone through. The first is we achieved the U.S. Horde's second Kel'Thuzad kill during Vanilla. This was when we took over as the #1 guild on Illidan, a feat that goes unchallenged to this very day. The second is when we were invited to compete against Vodka during BlizzCon 2011. The fact that we won the competition is not what's standing out. It's the fact that we were considered the cream of the crop of hardcore raiding in the eyes of the game's creators. Blood Legion has been around since Diablo 2, and at that moment, millions of players discovered who we were. The final milestone proves that what we do is not a race but a marathon. During the Dragon Soul progression cycle, we finished third in the world ahead of all American and European guilds. This was the first time since the reign of death and taxes that an American guild managed to rank above Europeans. These three milestones define Blood Legion. We never give up, we always strive for excellence, and you can never count us out. We're just going to describe how proud I'm of this guild and all of its members over the last 8 years. Okay, Blizzard has another question here. What led to your decision to accept our invitation to compete in the live challenge mode dungeon race against Blizzard employees? As soon as we were approached about the possibility, we knew it was something we could not turn down. Our guild loves being involved with any PvE competition, especially ones with Blizzard's direct involvement. A huge part of our decision to participate was due to the fact that the raids were bumped back by a week. This gave us a lot more flexibility with what we can do during the first reset. Also, we are excited to see what Blizzard employees will bring to the table. Oh, I'm sure you are. What kind of class/spec composition have you put together for this race through the first raid, Mogushan Palace? And how did you decide the lineup of guild members, classes, and roles? We chose a team consisting of some of our most seasoned veterans. The 5 of us consist of a protection paladin, an arms warrior, a frost mage, a survival hunter, and a holy paladin. The composition provides us many advantages and few disadvantages. Time warp and aspect of the pack definitely helps speed things up. We lack a battle res spell, but we figure we can't afford that type of mistake anyway. We are very happy with the tools of all 5 specs bring to the table. They proved to be invaluable during our practice run. Speaking of which, how many times has your team spent practicing the live event thus far? Mogushan Palace Challenge Mode difficulty has been open for testing in the beta for about a month after all, and I'm sure you've been busy with other guild members. After the first few hours trying to learn the instance, we've been trying to run it at least a couple of times a night, barring schedule conflicts. Our times have ended up being pretty consistent as we get more and more comfortable in there, but it still provides a sufficient challenge to throw us curveballs occasionally that make us trip up and fall on our faces. Okay, what do you know about the team of employees we put together? Have you heard any rumors about the competition we'll be running or clear times we've been hitting on practice runs? Despite our best efforts, we haven't heard much. We've been told that you are sending us the best from your internal raid testing team. Otherwise, we're in the dark regarding the competition. A few people have mentioned times, but we're sure, given all your experience, that you guys are pretty adept at the art of trolling. You completely lost me. Moving on. How serious are you about winning this race? Or put it another way, how would you feel if we beat you? Remember, our team has virtually no advantages over Blood Legion beyond, helping to program the game we're all playing. We're all serious about winning. I don't think there isn't any other way to approach a competition of any sort. However, this is different than most regards to our competition. We usually are going against other top guilds in a 25-man setting, but now we're facing off against Blizzard in a 5-man. I think that is definitely an advantage for Blizzard, seeing as how you wouldn't stand a chance in a 25-man setting. The 5-man layout is much more dependent on comp and much less dependent on the ability to separate yourselves from competition. Yes, you can tweak out a few seconds here and there, but it's just a completely different ballgame than 25-manning. Anyone can win. We're mentally prepared for an which pretty much means we're ready for you to cheat. Are you there, Anthony?
Mm-hmm.
We're almost done, I swear. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Um, let's see. All right, let's settle down. I feel like I may have upset you. I'm just going to shift gears and ask, what do you think about the new challenge mode dungeon feature in Mists of Panderia? I think it's fantastic. Five-man dungeons have not been this interesting since the introduction of heroic five-mans in the Burning Crusade. After one trash pull, we realized this was not a joke. You have to acknowledge every mechanic and spell in the dungeon, coordinating crowd control, interrupts, cooldowns, while succeeding in the pursuit of gold. Even then, gold is not achievable without some creative strategies. Creative strategies, I get the impression you're teasing something. Let's just say I really like the combination of Nitro Boots and Goblin Glider. Also, we found the Hunter Flare to be more useful than we imagined. You'll have to wait and see what I mean. Fair enough. In addition to focus on miss raid progression, do you expect your guild to put a lot of effort into the leaderboards for fastest challenge dungeon clears? With how much we've been enjoying challenge mode so far, we'll definitely have a lot of people working hard on them once Pandaria launches. As a guild, we're made up of a lot of people that are really competitive and love optimizing absolutely everything as much as possible. It really opens a lot of possibilities from instance to instance, trying out different groups, compositions, and strategies, where each one will gain a few seconds here or there, but lose some time in other spots. Having competition amongst people in the guild should be pretty fun as well. So, how's the rest of the guild feeling? Are you all ready for Mists of Panderia? We're as ready as we'll ever be. There have been months and months of preparation put into the release, and those weeks immediately following. We have high expectations of the Mists of Panderia raids based off beta testing and all the cool new encounters. Let's hope the devs get the number balancing and allows top guilds to do their thing without much nerf batting going on. I'm excited to see how things shake out in Mist, but I'll let you go back to practicing. I do have one final question. Who in Blood Legion is responsible for picking up the yard house tab? Isn't the etiquette that the home team always foots the bill? And yeah, that's it. So that is one of the number one guilds in the world, talking shop with the fine folks at Blizzard. And if you want to watch them in Blizzard compete in a five-man, well, watch their live stream tomorrow night.
If this podcast does go up before then.
Please, for the love of God, tell Nick to get it posted as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, so that was them. So at the Irvine event, there's also going to be a cosplay competition.
Yep.
By showing up in costume, we encourage event attendees to dress up in their best Warcraft attire. In fact, you could be strutting down the stage in front of Irvine and the Irvine crowd and Machinima audience. When you arrive, please visit the information desk for more details. Also, if you are in Irvine, California, they will be doing, the entire Blizzard team will be doing autographs of the standard and collector's edition, and both will be available for purchase. First come, first served basis. So yeah. So I'm sure that if you live in Southern California, you're pretty jacked about that right now, if you're listening to this podcast anyway.
Everything is in Southern California except PAX. Yep.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, except Pat, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things happen in Southern California, just like the population center of the West, apparently, so.
Yeah, pretty much. Most major gaming events except for PAX, PAX East, RTX, and that's about it.
Yep, E3's down there. BlizzCon's down there.
Yep.
Either that or Vegas.
Yeah. So that's that.
I'm
Anyway.
still kind of a little disappointed there's no BlizzCon this year.
Yeah.
But then again, they wouldn't have much to show anyways because Diablo 3 just came out, so they don't really have much Diablo going on. Mists of Panderia would have already been out, and they've just probably begun the development stages of the next expansion, and pretty much the only thing you have left is StarCraft, and even that's in closed beta.
But I really like the fact that they're doing a. I really do like the fact that they're that they do concerts and costume contests and competitive gaming. I still think they should have done one just for the fan stuff. But whatever, that's kind of a bummer. Next year they'll unveil the next Warcraft expansion, and they'll unveil something for Diablo probably, and call it a day. But Anyway, that's that. So yeah. Anyway, before we get to questions, Anthony, let's talk about Pandaria. What are some things you are excited for?
I am excited about um, hmm, the music and I want to say environments, but that's not the right word. Pretty much exploring the place. Just
Yeah,
seeing, okay, how cool is this place look? Because the problem with Cataclysm, it was just, okay, it's pretty much the old world except it's on fire. And there's some, um,
there's a couple new
there's
zones.
some abysses and some cracks, but basically the world's on fire. So you gotta go save it from this giant black dragon and the giant fire lord.
Yeah.
Great. So it wasn't exactly an experience of exploring new regions except to see your precious places get burned down. So this time, new region. This time, everything is not on fire. Instead, everything is nice and lush and green. And pretty much they're going for the whole Asian theme. So I'm excited about the music and the environments.
I'm really excited to go through leveling and exploring the new areas. The new quest chains seem cool. I'm really into the pet battle system. And it just feels like a more complete experience than Kata was. Kata was an interesting idea, but as a person who like I feel as though it was a good entry point for new players that was definitely needed. But I feel that its stuff for the upper level guys wasn't as good as the previous expansions. Though I mean, like that's because those games literally had nothing for new players except for Blood Elf and Draenei. That
The
said,
ones is when I look at Cataclysm, when I played through it, I played the old world stuff twice. I've done quite a lot of end game stuff, but it left me with the impression that yes, World of Warcraft is good and it is consistently good, and I can't fault it too much. But I don't feel it was like something that I would want to talk about because I wanted to get involved with the story. I was just like, wow, the story behind Deathwing is freaking amazing. And I wanted to believe that. But basically, I don't have anybody to talk to that about with because what is everyone doing? All they ever care about is getting the loot. No one ever cares about, hey, let's go explore this area or hey, let's do that. All they ever talk about is getting bigger numbers.
well, they do care about that. It's just it's when the expansion first comes out, like because after that, after the first month or so, everyone's back to okay, hit level cap as fast as possible. Uh, raid, raid, or PvP, PvP, PvP.
I don't know. It's just I look at it, it's just like guys, Warcraft has such huge lore. Maybe we should take a break and not talk about because that's just like, and that's the feel I get too. Yeah, I want to try and get involved in the story, and I think that having all these plot lines is pretty cool. But no one ever discusses it, so I just tend to ignore it and think, okay, well, guess it's not that important to the World of Warcraft world. People are just
Well,
here for the mechanics and self gratification.
that tells you how addictive those mechanics are, though. And
Yeah.
I was watching those Escapist Expo panels I told you about recently, and Yahtzee is talking about World of Warcraft. He's like, I think World of Warcraft is a well designed game, but I think it's morally reprehensible. You know, no one ever ruined their lives trying to get all the items on Super Metroid. And that game is addictive. I mean, we have seen it with Quinn. Like, I remember
Which
Quinn.
is the thing was I never found it super addictive.
The,
Not in the traditional sense, anyways. No, I didn't. I didn't spend 2 months straight worth of gaming on it, but I did spend a huge amount of time in it, nevertheless.
like, I think that's one because you and I have self control.
Well,
Like,
it's not just that, but like I said, for me, it was whole. It was a whole. Yes, this game is good, but it's not super great. That I just like, man, I gotta keep coming back. I need to do
but like
more.
the thing is though is that's because the difference between you and I and Quinn is you and I do not get get personally involved with these people. Um, back when I ran a
That
guild,
too,
I felt
actually.
obligated to be on a lot of the time because I was A, the guild master, and B, these guys needed me as their tank. Like, I was their tank, and these guys were my friends, even though that they were on, they were up in Washington and up in Wisconsin and, all these other places, but they were fucking friends of mine. And that's like, I felt the need, like, even when I wasn't as into playing the game, I still felt the need to be on because I was their tank and their raid team, and I was their guild master. And I think that's the difference. Like Quinn, we'll be out. Like we went to a concert this past June. It was a Pink Floyd tribute band and a band called The Novelists, which if you've never heard them, you should look them up on YouTube. They're quite good. Uh, and and we go there and we go to the concert, have a good time. But then we figure, okay, hey, let's go get some dinner at the Gold and Silver. It's kind of our restaurant. Anthony knows that. Uh, and and we go there and Quinn is on his phone like half the time. Like half the time he's on his goddamn phone. And I'm like, Quinn, what the fuck are you doing? Like what is are your parents having a panic attack? Like your girlfriend keep texting you? What is it? And he's like, no, dude, my guildies keep sending me messages, and I'm talking to my guildies, and I'm like that. I felt was taking it a little too far. And I understand
You
where,
take your craft life with you outside of your house.
yes, like I understand the need to be at a certain home at a certain time for raid night, but I feel as though you should be ashamed when you say that to people. um, You know, like, like I have never ditched out on a party or go hanging out with my real friends to go with online friends. Or like, but have I fucking pushed stuff away or put it off? Yeah, and and sometimes I'd stay at home when I could have gone do some, but like usually no, but a lot of people they feel a social obligation. It's the same reason that back in the day, before World of Warcraft had server changing and cross realm shit, you couldn't be an asshole on your server because your name was known. So if you like ninja looted from three different guilds or four different guilds, you couldn't get in another guild on your server. And because you couldn't transfer servers, or factions or anything like that, you were fucked. You would have had to make a new character.
Oh, and back then leveling wasn't very fast, was
No, it was not.
it?
So, like, there's this social obligation that happens with it. Like, I get where, like, the game itself is a feedback loop. You are always getting rewarded in World of Warcraft. Always. You're either killing monsters and running dungeons to get gold or rep or honor or valor points to get new gear. You're either farming professions to up your skills or get new money. It's a feedback loop. It's always giving you positive feedback. There's always something to work towards. Like we said, work-based progress.
See, for me, it was. Uh, for me, I don't know this has to be Cataclysm or not, because for me, it was like, well, I'm not getting anything new. Yep, I'm done now. And I actually haven't played the game for 2 months now. But I think the reason why I found the good game good but not super great is because I don't really have that many. I don't actually have anybody to play with. Like you're only on when you feel like it. So I think that's the reason why I never really got to properly appreciate it, because I was like the whole forever alone kind of guy, because my night elf has pretty much spent 95% of his time by himself walking through lonely forests.
Um,
I going from 1 to 60 was especially painful. Like 1 to 20 was actually pretty cool when I started, because everyone had Worgen, so that was kind of cool, even though I didn't really fit in. But after that, though, it was extremely lonely, and I was just like, guys, is anyone out here? Hello? Like, it got progressively worse. And then when you got to Outland, it was especially bad because you only see one person every week.
There's like one death knight. Like,
One
like
Death Knight out there a week. That was how lonely it got. And I'm just like, hey, NPCs, I need to satisfy my social media before I start seeing the social bunny. Because that's what happens in The Sims when your social meter goes to you start hallucinating a bunny to talk to.
um, yeah, man. But like the thing with that is it combines that feedback loop with social interaction and social obligation, and those are like the two most powerful feedback loops to humans.
Why can't real life work like that?
Because real
I
life,
would love to accomplish a huge amount of things while talking to cool people all day.
well, that's essentially what journalism is. I get to, like if once TGA we're in an office, I essentially get paid to write about video games while talking to my friends all day. Um, you know,
Okay, sure.
that's kind of how
and
journalism.
you do what you love at the same time.
Yes,
Hence, best job ever. If
exactly.
you ignore the top ramen that you can afford.
Yeah, if you ignore the fact that I live under my desk. But yeah, well,
Well,
like,
you never know, though. We currently have plans that if we ever have the basement, you're pretty much living down there.
oh, dude, if we have a basement office, Ashton and I already have that shit. Just
Just
like,
call it the Gamecraft basement.
yeah, just
So it's
like,
like all three of us are gonna be down there. I'm just gonna have to get a bit terrified of the snoring and a possible vampire jumping at me
yeah.
when it gets dark.
Well, the thing with Ashton is he talks in his sleep.
I
So
kind of snore and you choke yourself.
I don't do that anymore.
Well, oh, okay. Because the last time you slept while I was driving, you were literally choking yourself.
That was what, Black Friday?
That was actually last year, but I'm glad that was gone. But still, though, it's gonna be really creepy though when someone, I don't know, Nick, goes down there at like 5 in the morning and hears a person slightly snoring, one person talking to himself, and the vampire.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a big sign that says "Keep out."
Yeah. No, no, what's gonna be great is he's gonna like bring some developer over to the office and like he's gonna come down to the basement. There's gonna be three monitors on, and we all turn over with bloodshot eyes, like yes.
Well, I probably wouldn't. I'll be upstairs.
Yeah.
You will be the one stuck in the basement with bloodshot eyes.
Yeah, Ashton and I prefer the basement. I I
You
actually
know what? What a better place than for you to waste the next, I don't know, year playing World of Warcraft: The Caverns of Time. You just sit down there and just play.
that is what we'll call the basement of the office, the caverns of time,
How is it the Caverns of Time? It's
because
not a time warp when you go down there, is it?
we could make it look like one. Like we'll have a bunch of stuff from different decades
You know
everywhere.
what? Oh, well, that's going to need a lot of renovations when everyone changes. It's like, all right, guys, this first half of the year is 1980s. Go. Someone go out there and find us a Commodore 64.
No, 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 no. We have all the decades at once. So it just
Oh, so people are just going to go down there and just be like, whoa.
like a disco ball, a lava lamp, you know,
Huh.
Blair Guns and Roses. Well, like we all wear jean jackets because it's the '90s. Uh, um, oh god.
People are just going to be creeped out when it's. Yeah, that developer's just going to come down there and be like, okay, I'm leaving now.
I don't know. I've talked to Aston about this, and he says he's probably gonna hang posters everywhere, and I'm like, well, my desk is gonna have figures all over it, so I mean,
I don't even
because
know what mine's going to have.
if you look at my desk right now, I have a Goku figure, a Cooler figure, Vegeta, a black Spartan 4, the Mayor from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, a red Spartan, Titus from Final Fantasy X, a Alaskan chipmunk, and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, I don't know what my desk is. My desk is
And
filled with lots of paperwork and various items, basically an office
oh,
desk.
and I'm probably gonna buy one of these either next PAX or next. And if Barnes and Noble ever puts them on sale, the Mario Galaxy Mario.
Frickin', frickin', we're just gonna call it Caverns of Time. That's gonna be something really hard to pull off. Like when I think that, I think lots of sand, bronze dragons everywhere.
How about we just call it the Lair? There you go.
Maybe a bit plain, but if we can't think of anything else, yeah.
The Vampire's Lair. We'll make it.
We're just setting it all perfectly for you at night.
We'll just paint it
Just
black.
next thing you know, we're just gonna. Next thing you know, the UPS guy's gonna show up with this big box, and I'm like, why is there a coffin shipped to the offices?
It's just like, well, Bronson sleeps in it. What?
We just look over and we're just like, Nick, I think I should move out now. I need my own apartment somewhere. Oh, Caverns of Time. Seriously, though, Blizzard probably really should make an expansion called that. That would be so great.
Okay, so anyway, I guess that's what we're excited for with Pandaria. So I'm gonna
You
close.
know, oh yeah, I'm also excited for the fact that I can actually. You know what? That's probably not going to happen. I was going to say I'm going to be excited by the fact that I'm not going to be behind anymore and actually travel across Pandaria and level up at the same rate as everyone
I'm
else.
saying this right now. If you can get the game this weekend and play this weekend,
I don't think this game I can play for the next month, considering how bad things have gotten. But
yep.
so yeah, that's kind of like I'm probably not going to be as far behind as I used to be because I don't think I got to 85
I know that
until a year
I know
after Cataclysm came out.
I know you're probably gonna hit 90. I know you're probably gonna start playing right as I start leveling my mage, so it'll be good timing. Um, though the thing that might slow me down is I'm currently in the process of reviewing Borderlands 2, and I talked to Nick, and I also might be reviewing Little Big Planet Vita. So basically, instead of being gamer access editor, I should be reviews editor. But
Well, yeah, that worked, and yeah, that worked because it's just like I am editor and media producer because I handle just about almost all the media that comes out. Like I have to do all the editing, so.
yeah, so next question is: will you be at the midnight launch at your local GameStop or retailer? Yep, Joe and I are going because Joe owes me one.
Still have no idea.
Yep. Anyway,
Yeah, I should probably link this if I feel like it. Gamecraft Cataclysm launch video.
yeah, why not? Anyway, this has been this has been a good show. We're excited. We're gonna in a hopefully sooner rather than later we're gonna come back and talk of our tales of Pandaland. And
Panda-monium.
yep. I come from a land down under. Uh, anyway, this has been
Anthony Ta.
Bronson Fiore. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Peace.